Hi grade 3s. Today in language, you should be basically done your fractured fairy tale. So you're going to be handing that in to me by Monday. And I'm just going to remind you, these are the things that I'm looking for. It shouldn't be a big surprise. We've talked about these. Number one, I'm looking at your quotation marks. Did you use them? You should have some kind of conversation in your story so I can see that you know how to use quotation marks properly. Number two, I'm checking to see if you understand what point of view means. We've talked about it, and this project was supposed to be you telling a story from someone else's point of view. So I'm going to be looking to see that you've figured out how to do that, right? I'm also going to be looking to see that you have done a pretty good job with things like spelling and grammar, your punctuation. I want to see that there should be evidence when I read it that you have worked on editing and revising this. Okay, it shouldn't have tons and tons of mistakes. It can have some, I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but there shouldn't be tons of them, okay? So that's for the fairy tale part of it. I'm also looking at your picture, and I want to make sure that it is neat, it's complete, so you didn't sort of color parts of it, but not really bother to color other parts, and that it is about an important part in your story. Mrs. Schmoyant told you yesterday that that's what I was looking for. Just like if you were to read a picture book, if you would just flip through and you'll see that the things that are drawn are important parts of the story. So I'm expecting when I see yours that I will see that you chose an important part in your story and that's what you chose to draw. I'm really looking forward to seeing these, and I know that you probably would love to share this with others. So here is an option for you. You do not have to do this. And if you're gonna do it, you need your parents' permission, probably their devices too. Here's what you can do if you want. If you would like to film yourself, just like I have been filming myself, reading your fractured fairy tale to our class, and if you want to send me that video file, then I can put it up on my YouTube channel and everyone in our class can watch this video. Now, just so you know, my YouTube channel is public, which means that in theory, anyone in the world could see it. I am not a famous YouTuber, so I don't think that would happen, but you need to have your parents' permission for that, okay? So send those to me over the weekend. I'll get them uploaded hopefully for Monday, and that will be a fun thing for you guys to watch. Now, for today, we're gonna do a little bit more quotation practice. Now, in our quotation practice, we are just working on dialogue, and dialogue means when people have a conversation back and forth. So let's take a look at your quotation sheet and we'll see what you need to do today. Here's your quotation mark practice sheet for today, and it is probably the hardest one you've seen so far. There's a couple things in here that are a little bit different than what we've done before. So remember, we put quotation marks around the words that are actually said out loud, and we use commas to separate those words from the part where it says said somebody or someone said. So we're gonna do number one together because it's sort of a weird, tricky one. Let's take a look. It says, the best ice cream flavors, said Joe, are chocolate and butterscotch. What did Joe actually say out loud? Yeah, he said the best ice cream flavors are chocolate and butterscotch. Now, this quotation has been split in half, okay? So we have to put quotation marks around the first part because he didn't say said Joe, so I put my quotation marks here to say, oh, he said this, he did not say this. Then I come over here and I add quotation marks as well. That's sort of a tricky one. You're gonna keep going through. Now, the other tricky part about today is that some of these, no one is saying anything, okay? Most of them, someone is saying something, but there's a few in here where no one is actually saying anything. And in those ones, you need to show me that you know that there are no quotation marks. So if no one says anything out loud, you can skip it, or you can put an X over the number, okay? So that shows me that you tried it, but you know that there shouldn't be any quotation marks. All right, there's only 15 of these. Have a lot of fun. See you guys on Monday.